putting a coat of orange paint on the block, and then we'll be putting the intake on it, and probably a little more touch-up painting in the back of the block. Okay, where we are on this stage of the build is we're basically going to adjust the rocker arms. The guide plates, I'll move these and adjust these so the tracking is the best we can hope for on this particular head. And put the intake on it, and pretty much the valve covers, and it's a done deal. Okay, what we got going now is we're to the point where we're going to adjust the guide plates. And if you look at the tracking on the rocker arm, you can see that this one's way over to the edge of the stem. Ideally, you want the rocker to track through the center line of the roller and the valve. If it's over a little bit like that, you can get away with it, but you don't want it off like this one. You want it to be somewhat in the center line. As long as the roller tip is bigger than the valve stem diameter and you're off a little bit, it don't much matter a hell of a lot, as long as the geometry is good on it. As far as the tracking goes, as far as the center line and the push rod geometry and all that. Now, there's different guide plates, and if you look at this one, we're way over here. So we're going to take the rocker arms off. We're going to move the guide plate. Some guide plates have slots in them. Some guide plates are keyed. Escuderian makes slotted guide plates. They're keyed so you can move each piece individual. They're very nice, and if you've got a big port on a small block Chevrolet, the rocker arms can become what I call pigeon-toed, which they are pinched in and then they track out, so the rocker arms look like this. And a lot of times the pinch port the pinch point in the port, because of the push rod, you can only do so much with it. So the Escadarians are quite good for that type of situation. We're going to push the guide plate this way. It should track the rocker arm outward, and see where we're at. I do each individual one this way, and then when I get them where I like them, then I lock them down and I torque them down, and then I move on to the other one. See, so now we're not so bad. We're pretty, that's acceptable. I might try to get a little bit better. Let's see, I might try to move it a little bit more. If I have to, you can modify the guide plates. You can open up the holes in them. Sometimes you get into a situation where you can only move it so far, and then you're going to start hitting on the head bolt washers or the actual bolt itself. So, I mean, there's a point in time where you can get it as good as you can get it. The landscape of the head limits you to how much you can really get it, to a point where you really are 100% happy with it. Sometimes it's a compromise. I like that. That's good. It's as good as we're going to get it with them guide plates. And to be honest with you, probably if we went to a different guide plate, we probably wouldn't get it much better. But we'll try to we'll try something here. And yeah, that's as far as we're going to be able to go with that one. So we're just going to have to call that good. So you always got to move them around and adjust them for each head. You just don't put the guide plates on and tighten them up, because you don't really know where they are. And most guide plates have a little bit of wiggle room. If you have to, you can modify them, open up the hole. Well, these things are usually file hard, and you're going to have to do it with probably a stone on a die grinder. Carbide probably is going to raise holy hell with your carbide, so we'll torque this one up. We went a little further than we should have, but that ain't going to hurt nothing. Yeah, I like that. That's good. Move to the next one. That should be pretty good right there. You also can go back and forth a little bit on the guide plate too. You want to make sure that that you're not riding on the guide plate and that's causing your push rod to try to push it out of the rocker ball here. So you want to make sure that back and forth, intake to exhaust, at the guide plate there's air gap between that and the push rod. Most of the time there is. It's not a problem, but you got to be aware of that. You don't want the tracking to be so far off that it's pushing on the push rod away from the cup of the rocker arm. That's pretty good. I like that. We're going to call that one good. On small block Chevrolets, when I go to aftermarket rocker arm stud, I use big block Chevrolets. 7/16 base, 7/16 top, it's a little bit stronger situation. When you're buying your rocker arms and you're buying your rocker arm studs, I always go up to the bigger rocker arm stud. There's more base there. It's a stronger situation. So I'm happy with that. We can live with that. So that's kind of how I do it. This short. In the past, I've found grit in these poly locks, so I take them apart and I brush them out and I oil them, and I put the lock sets back in them. Okay, we got the 383 done. Gonna start on another project, another 383. Probably start on that next week. And going to do some work on the 283 next week. So thanks for watching my channel. We'll have some more new interesting stuff to come up. And 2 of them done this month and get them the heck out of the shop. Thanks for watching.